My name is Kimber Walton. I am very, very passionate about marketing, branding, and messaging. And so what I am going to share with you today is that passion in tactics, in ways that you all can implement this. And we had our session of new recruits or new agents that haven't come to Mega Camp before a few minutes ago. And I would say the number one thing that I want all of you to have on your to-do list when you leave Mega Camp is to create a personal brand, build a personal brand. And so we're going to talk about that today and how you implement that. So I've had hundreds of conversations with agents throughout the years. And when we have conversations, either I am being paid to have these conversations with agents, or they're calling me to pick my brain, right? I have a lot of those too. And when we are talking about branding, I want to share with you the 3 most common things that real estate agents say to me. So let's go through number 1. Kimber, I have sold fill in the blank number of properties without a brand. They're really excited about that. They want to tell me. So that's the most common one. The second most common one is, does a logo and colors and fonts, does that really matter? I mean, I know your team aesthetic, but is that really going to help me sell more houses? And then another common one is brand new agents say, there's probably a few other things that I could be doing that's more important than building a brand. I'm going to sell a few houses, and then maybe I'll come back to prioritizing that. So those are the most common 3 things that I hear. And at one moment, both things can be true. This agent did sell that many houses without a brand. I could argue maybe the fonts are not that important. I'm probably personally never going to say that, but I can get on board for a minute. And then third, with new agents, yeah, that feels passive. I get it. We want to be active. We want to just be having conversations, selling homes. My cute little logo might not be top of priority right now, right? The statistics, however, tell a different story. You might be familiar with this statistic, but I will share it with everybody if you have not heard it. 87% of real estate agents leave the business in the first 5 years. That number has fluctuated a few percentages over the years, but 87% leave in the first 5 years. The reason why is they have not prioritized a personal brand that feeds them repeat and referral business. That's a big statistic. That's a big why to prioritize building a personal brand. Now, what I'm about to say might contradict what we learned in junior high. Does anyone remember junior high? Anyone? Yes. Okay, cool. Yes, friend. So, what was the goal in 7th grade? Someone is thinking, do not make me go back to 7th grade right now. The goal, yes, the goal in 7th grade is to fit in. And if we fit in, that is directly tied to our joy. And if we aren't fitting in, which at any point a 7th grader is not going to fit in at one point, then it's the cause of our unhappiness, right? Fitting in is the most important thing. And after grade school, that doesn't go away. Even before we leave grade school, we start applying for colleges. Why do we apply to colleges? To be accepted. Fitting in, acceptance, I'm feeling good about all this, right? So that's been the goal. And then once we're in college, we get into these awesome niche groups, majors, where we're surrounded by all the same people that have the similar talents as us, trades. They have similar goals, similar career paths. Everyone around us is the same, right? It's how we make friends. It's how we feel safe. But in business, fitting in is not how we tell a story. It's not how we attract the people that we are looking to serve and we are looking to help. So what if I challenge our thinking today that maybe the goal isn't to fit in? Maybe the goal is to stand out. And we're going to do that by building a personal brand. Keyword, personal. Meaning it is yours. It is no one else's. It is not all the peers around you. It is yours. The most effective, and I'm going to read 2 quotes directly from my notes because I do not want to mess them up and they're that important. The most effective agent brands don't try to appeal to everyone. They signal to a specific client type, even if that means being less attractive to others. I am going to repeat that. The most effective agent brands don't try to appeal to everyone. They signal to a specific client type, even if that means being less attractive to others. Your brand should act as both a magnet and a filter. The magnet brings you closer to that ideal customer, and then a filter allows you to filter out those that maybe are not your best client. Maybe you are not the best person to serve them. And now you get to work with who you want to work with. I'm excited about that already. So Seth Godin, he is one of my favorite authors. If you have never read a book from him, I suggest all of the books. And his newest book is called This is Strategy. And he says in that book that he believes that all of us can train our customers to behave the way we want them to behave. That sounds interesting, right? How do we train other people to do exactly what we want them to do? And how do we do that through a brand? So he says in his book, we can train them to be respectful or rude, patient or selfish, keep the satisfaction to themselves or share. They can be cheap or generous or free, demand free, I should say, or seek luxury. We can train our clients to do all of those things. And how we do that is through our personal brand. And this is the second quote I'm going to read verbatim. And this is the kicker. This one's going to make you think. It's not easy to persuade someone to want what you want. It's much more productive to find people who already want to go where you would like to take them. It is much more productive to find people who already want to go where you would like to take them. Okay, so the rest of the time, let's talk about how do we do this? We mentioned earlier, we are going to give you an awesome one-pager that will highlight all of these key points. So how do we build the brand? Let me tell you first what a brand is not. A brand is not a logo. A logo is a logo. And a logo is a part of a brand guide or a brand kit that is also comprised of color palette, and fonts and maybe even design standards. So when we say we have a logo, what we have is a part of a brand guide that is now a visual standard for our brand. So some of us might be sitting in the audience today and realize, okay, I have a logo, I have one of those brand guides. Sounds like I don't have a brand based on what Kimber just said. So then what is a brand? So the first thing that you are going to do when you build a personal brand, and I say first, probably the most important, is define uniqueness. Remember the standout conversation. How am I different than the people around me? What's fun about a convention like this is we are around like-minded real estate agents, high performers. They're in other markets. We are learning the best. And we are learning strategies to implement in our business. Your personal brand is you. That's not what we're talking about when we're saying define your uniqueness. So what do you do differently than everyone else? This is an autopilot for me, and I want this to be an autopilot for you. Instead of walk into a room and immediately think, how do I fit in, blend in? I want you to start thinking, what makes me different? What do I do differently than everybody else? Define that. Second is to identify your audience. Back to what Seth Godin said, that it's much more productive to take the people that want to go where you want to go. It's much easier to take them somewhere than pull and drag the people that have never even really raised their hand and said that they needed you. So identify that audience. He asked 2 questions when he's identifying how he's going to structure messaging and branding. And these questions are the most simple things, and you will love them. Who is it for? And what's it for? Who is it for? And what's it for? You asking yourself that question before you go do anything will help make what you're doing so much more clear. And he uses the example of planning a wedding, if any of you have ever planned a wedding. And he said, well, what's the price that a wedding should be? And the answer is whatever your best friend paid plus $1, right? There's no reason or no cost that a wedding actually should be. Some people, we have to ask, are we doing it for other people? Sometimes we're hosting a nice fancy wedding for other people, and that's okay, but we need to define that at the beginning. So our marketing and our brand is no different. Third is building trust through content. And I'm just going to skip to the 4th one because they tie well together. 4th is your personal brand must build trust. So those 2 together, let's start with build trust through content. The algorithms are ever changing. And right now, I will tell you the 3 things that are king: location, ratings, and expertise. Does our brand, digitally or otherwise, reflect those 3 things? That is a rocket ship to the moon if you know how to put that out correctly online. Identify your location you serve. What is your expertise? How have others experienced working with you? Through ratings. And then your personal brand must build trust. Here's my only advice I give on this specific thing. People build trust through other people. And so when I advise agents on brand, I just have one requirement. You need to be involved in it. If I am talking to, let's say, a supplement company, and they're selling supplements, their product is supplements. They have these ones that help you feel more energized, and there's these ones that give you more vitamin D, and all that good stuff, right? The product of a real estate agent is the real estate agent. Who's getting paid? You. You're getting paid a commission for the services that you do. The product is not the house. So I require, when someone pays me to do something, I can require things. It's fun. I require you to be involved in your brand. Your trust, the trust will be built with you and your mission so much quicker if you're in it. Few more. This one, we'll just skim right over. Have a content strategy. Oh no. And where you're going to fill in the blanks with that is this entire conference. But part of your brand is always having a strategy. For this quarter, we are doing this, and that looks like this. It's as simple and as hard as that. But always have a strategy. Your brand going in a direction is part of your brand. Last two, become the authority. You are the expert. Do you have mind share in your area, or because you are great at flipping homes, or because you sell luxury real estate, or because you have helped 5 investment clients recently? Be the expert. And the last one is focus on depth rather than width. This one can be a little bit general, but what I would say with this is quality is winning over quantity right now. If you are somebody that follows social media, you'll notice that the algorithms are supporting reach more with better content versus the person that has a lot of followers. I'm excited about that because I am not the queen of followers, but I am the queen of quality content. Okay, so I gave you a really kind of scary statistic earlier. 87% of agents get out of the business in the first 5 years because they do not have a brand. Not having a brand might actually be the riskiest strategy of all, if we're using that statistic as an example. The agents who thrive are the ones who have had the courage to stand out. The more that we know you, the more that your client knows you, the quicker your personal brand becomes something that moves the needle. The quicker you attract people that are going where you are going as well. It will flow. It doesn't feel as much resistance. Stop trying to be the agent for everyone and start being the agent for someone. Define your uniqueness, know your audience, build trust through content that serves, not sells. Your brand is your business is your brand. The only question left is, what will you stand for? Thank you.